What's up guys, so in today's video I actually am going to be showing you guys how to get the Rod of the Depths, and I am going to be getting it for myself. So as you guys can see right now, I actually do have the mythical rod. This is actually a pretty good rod because of the mythical enchant. It does help get coins a lot faster because I believe that they sell for 4.5 times more. But before we actually do go ahead and do anything, we are going to need to get an abyssal and a hexed enchant relic. The way that we get these is by talking to this guy right here and getting him to appraise them. There is a very low chance of it happening, so you are going to need a lot of money for this. So guys, to even get the Rod of the Depths, you are going to need to find a strange whirlpool. The way you guys can tell it is a strange whirlpool is that you are going to see a whirlpool with like a light beam sticking out of it. As you guys can see, you are also going to need to catch the Isonade. The way you get this is by fishing inside of the strange whirlpool. You just cast your line and you have a low chance of finding it. You are actually going to want to use truffle worms for this because that is their preferred bait. As you guys can see, just from fishing inside of the whirlpool, you do have a chance to get it. The Isonade does have a minus 50 progression speed, and since it is also a mythical, it is going to struggle a little. So if you do have a rod with good resilience, that is going to help a lot. But if you do use the correct bait, I don't think it should take you too long to catch it. So after you guys do that, you also are going to need to complete the vertigo bestiary. You guys can do this by just fishing in the pond down in the vertigo. You can just catch every single fish, but for one of the fish you are going to need crab cages, so you are going to need to go ahead and buy a couple of those just in case. But once you do go ahead and complete the bestiary, you are just going to want to walk up here. Then you are going to want to talk to the NPC that is on the ground. If you do have both of the requirements, you are going to need a key and the vertigo bestiary. If you do have both of those, he is going to take a key and it is going to open, as you guys can see. Then once it does open, you guys can actually just go ahead and walk in, and you guys are going to want to complete the parkour. It's not really that hard of a parkour, but you guys are going to want to do it a little fast because the rocks can actually fall behind you if you take too long. Then once you do that, you're just going to want to go ahead and walk across, and then you're going to want to go ahead and walk into the little passage. Then finally, you guys have made it to the depths. This is a really good place to farm money because the fish here are worth a lot, and this is what you're gonna need in order to get the Rod of the Depths. So as you guys can see, whenever I do fish here, all I do is stand on the little edge. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter where you stand, but this is a really good place to make money, especially with the mythical rod, since the fish do sell for way more. So this is where you're going to want to be fishing to make all of your money, because it will help a lot when making money to try to get the Rod of the Depths. So when you guys do finally have some money and do have some enchant relics, you are going to want to go ahead and talk to this guy in Moosewood. Then you're going to want to go ahead and appraise the enchant relic. It is going to cost 450 credits each time you do it, and there is a chance of getting both the hexed and the abyssal enchant from it. This is probably going to cost a bit of money as they both are pretty rare enchants. The abyssal is the one that took the longest for me, so you guys are just going to want to have a bit of money so you guys can make sure you guys can get them. So after you guys get both of those, you are going to want to come and get the advanced diving gear. It is going to cost you 15k, but it is really worth it because it allows you to stay in the water way longer, and you're going to need this later on for when you do the depths maze. As you guys can see in the bottom, these are the coordinates to where it's going to be at. But after you get those, you are going to want to put it on and just head on down, straight down, because we are going to want to go to the desolate deep. So you guys are just going to want to go ahead and swim straight down, but when you get to the bottom, you are going to have to go into like a cave. So I am going to show you guys the way that I took. I did have to higher the brightness while I was editing because this place is way too dark. There is a setting in game where you can put higher brightness and higher saturation. Hopefully that'll help you guys, but I'm gonna just let you see the way that I got there. Hopefully it's not too confusing for you guys. So as you guys can see, now that we are here inside of the shop, there is a merchant and there are the regular flippers and the super flippers next to him. The super flippers are going to cost you 30k. So if you guys don't have enough, you guys are just going to want to go back to the depths till you guys have enough money for that. There also is another advanced diving gear down here, but I recommend you guys get it up there. So once you guys do that, you guys are all set to move on to the next step. So guys, the next step in getting the Rod of the Depths is actually getting the money for it. The rod is going to be 750k. So you guys are going to want to go back to the depths and farm fish over there for a bit. It took me a couple of hours, but But as you guys can see, after selling all of my fishes and selling a lot of my mythicals, I did end up getting enough to get it. So now that you guys actually have enough to buy the Rod of the Depths, you guys are going to want to go ahead and go back to the depths. As you guys can see, there is going to be a waterfall at the front, and you're just going to want to go to the right of it, and then you are going to see a statue with a guy holding his hand up. There is going to be a shadow man sitting down, and there is going to be a tablet with a little blue symbol on it next to him. This is where you are going to want to place the abyssal enchant relic. So you are just going to want to go ahead and get that out and then activate it. Then once you do that, you are going to want to head behind you into this waterfall right here. I recommend you do put your super flippers on and your advanced diving gear just in case, but you are just going to want to swim up it. Then you are going to want to go over to this little ledge right here and go over to the side of it. Then once you do get there, this is where you are going to place the hexed enchant relic. So you just do the same thing, and once you do that, there is going to be a shaking and a door is going to open down there by where you did place the abyssal enchant relic. So you are just going to want to make your way down here, and this is going to be the depths maze. This is the final step into getting your Rod of the Depths, and I am going to try my best to show you where and how you are supposed to get there. So I am going to speed the video up a little bit, but I am going to leave it uncut so you guys can see exactly where to go. So as you guys can see, we can now actually go ahead and buy the Rod of the Depths. So as you guys can see, the stats on this rod are very good. The rod does have a 65% lure speed, a luck of 130%, a control of 0.15, a resilient of 10%, and a max kg of 30k. So now I am finally gonna go ahead and buy the Rod of the Depths. As you guys can see, 750k wasted on the Rod of the Depths. But I think it would be pretty worth it because it is one of the best rods in the game. As you guys can see, here it is. So I am now going to go ahead and equip it and finally take a look at it. And as you guys can see, there is my ghost too. And here is the Rod of the Depths. It has an amazing design in my opinion. And it does have the ghost passive, which actually can catch a fish for you randomly. Also, when you guys do come here, make sure you guys have a conception conch so that you guys have an easy way to get back up to the surface, because I don't have one right now and I am just going to have to leave and rejoin to get back. So my last step is to head over to the Statue of Sovereignty so we can actually go down to the Sovereignty Mines. What I am going to do down here is actually enchant the Rod of the Depths. I am going to try to go for the Abyssal enchant because that is the best for money. So as you guys can see, I did get the Abyssal enchant on my first try. I believe the Abyssal mutation on fish does make them sell for 3.5 times more. So this is a really good one because I do want money right now. If you guys want a different one, Hasty would be pretty good for catching them fast. Or you could put more resilience on it to make catching hard fish easier. But yeah guys, I think that is going to be everything for this video. If you guys have made it this far, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.